Good morning. I'm a little early because I want to show y'all some things I have gotten. How are y'all? Y'all are talking about snow, and yesterday it was 77 here. Hey, Mary, Brenda, Jane. Heidi, are you on the airplane? Because I know you're headed back. Hey, Tanya. Hey, did I already say Mary? Cynthia. I was trying to see who's here. I've already said hey to Chris. Oh, Heidi says she'll rewatch. Hey, Joanne, Melissa. Good morning, everyone. Okay. I have been thinking, a while back I talked about, hey, Mary from Ohio. Hey, Tanya. I talked about maybe putting y'all's pictures, if you sent me a picture up in my education center, and I was like, that's not going to work. So I decided, like, I don't know. I want something like, I don't know. You guys mean a lot to me, and I wanted something like to show this is y'all. And so Tina Lacombe, I think that's how you say her name, I think her name's Christina on here. Christina Lacombe. She came to visit me, and she made, I don't know if she made or she had me made a magnet, and it has her state on it, and it has like her name on it. And it's already in my education center, so I don't have it with me now. And I was like, magnets. I could put them on the refrigerator to say these are, like, I can look at them and remember this, Tina's from here. I can go, do that. And so if you feel in your heart, if you have time, I would like a magnet from your state. That's what I would like. And so it was funny because not Loretta, Lorraine Anders came to visit, and she brought me a magnet from her state. And I was like, she didn't even know. And I was like, she didn't even know I wanted a magnet from her state. And she gave me a magnet. Then Jane from Maine sent me a Maine magnet. And I thought that is what I would like. I would like magnets from where you live. So you can just stick a magnet in a card. I don't know how much postage is now, but if you don't buy a very heavy magnet, I would like magnets from y'all, from your state. That is what I would love. So I want to show you a gift that I got in the mail last week. This is Missouri. And this is made out of bamboo. And it's etched. And it's laser etched. And it has a little mirror. I was going to take this off, and then I decided I don't even want to take this off. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, because look at it, it's so beautiful. And I ain't using this. This is a cutting board, but I'm not using it. What I think I'm going to do is hang it on my wall. So if you can't find a magnet in your state, there's other things in your state. We have like this local store that has Alabama stuff. And so I would like, I love looking at this, but I would like, like St. Louis reminds me of me and my son going to, when we went to St. Louis to the Six Flags. But I would really like that for Christmas. I would like a magnet from your state so that I can put on the refrigerator and go, oh, Jane from Maine. Oh, Becky from Missouri. Oh, Virginia. That's Lorraine Anders. And I can start recognizing. I want to say that I got this card. You know, hang on. I love cards. Of course, y'all have seen this card before. It says, there's little cats and they're on the bus. And it said, did you ever get the feeling that life is a journey and somewhere along the line you got on the wrong bus? Tell me that's not a perfect card. And it's from Lorraine Anders. And I've kept this card because it reminds me of the struggle bus, that you have choices in life. And it's like what we talk about. But this card, I bawled my eyes out when I read this card, but it says, when you're so tired you can't see straight, know that I see you. And the reason this is special to me is because Becky, and she wrote me a little sweet thing. I like knowing something about you because I can associate remembering names. And when I think of Becky, Becky is always here, but she doesn't always comment. But she lets me know, like, she doesn't necessarily comment, but she'll say, I watch you. I see you. I see you. And it's comforting to know. This card means a lot to me because it's comforting me to, let me try again. It's comfort. I cannot say the word. It's comforting to know I know Becky's here. I know she sees me. I know, and Becky she always lets me know. She's like, I don't just watch once, I watch twice. And the reason she watches my videos twice is not because she wants to see something different. She wants to support me. And she knows that watching my content helps me pay for feed. And she's like, I'm watching you. I'm helping you. I'm watching your video twice. And I know, and I can tell she watches my video twice because she'll comment and then she'll comment again when she watches, because it shows me the time she comments. And I can tell if she goes back and comments because that's how much she supports my farm. And that's how much she loves Shane and I. And she nicknamed Shane Shaners. And I named the cat Shaners because she calls Shane Shaners. That's where Shaners came from. So thank you. Lorraine sent, I don't know if she dated it. She sent me this last year, but I kept the card because it meant a lot to me. So I just wanted to say, let me put these back here. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. Thursday, let me show you this too. While I'm giving shout outs. You see this right here? This is a glass ornament, and it says, I wish we lived closer. And it has the Alabama state and the Maine state. And it has my name under Alabama. And it has Jane's name under Maine. And I hang it right there so I can see it every single day. It means a lot to me. It does. I appreciate you taking the time to think of me and support me, and I appreciate it a lot. I really, really do. Okay. I'm taking my glasses off. I hadn't even read ornaments. I saw Chris wrote ornaments and I said that. What's wrong with Marcy? Does Marcy need love? Marcy. Marcy, you're fixed to get in the principal's office. Look, if anybody's janked up, it'd be this one, okay? I mean, Marcy, you're loved. Backup dancers here, everyone's accepted. Everyone that is on my morning lives is loving, caring, accepting. They don't judge. I will promise you that no one here judges anyone. So it's not like that, Marcy. It's not. So just know that you're loved. I want you to comment. I want you to get to know these backup dancers because you're going to feel loved and accepted here. You see how many people are already messaging you? You're accepted. There's no dumb comment. No one here is judgmental. This is a very safe place. I never, as a matter of fact, the moderators never have to moderate in the mornings. There's no one ugly. Very few people are actually, I probably can recall one time, and that is it. So, taking the glasses off, which means if you're joining me for the first time, when I take my glasses off, I am blind and I can't read comments. The comments are for you guys. I want you to chit chat. You're welcome to share recipes or whatever you want. I'm not upset if you talk about other people, like as other, I don't know, like somebody said something about the meet and greet. It's for you. It's not for me. The chit chatting is for you. I will say sometimes when, how do I put this? Sometimes I get comments about other creators and it feels like how do I put this? It feels like, are they listening to me? Are they talking about somebody else? But like, I'm not, I don't, I just feel like we're all friends, so it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't know if you're talking about somebody else's live yesterday. It's fine. It's fine. The comment section is for you guys. Okay, with that being said, when I first created this live, the live said, I've gotten beat down to make me stronger. And I was going to talk about that. And then I realized that maybe I hurt Shane's feelings. So then I was like, I don't think I should talk about that because I hurt Shane's feelings. So then I changed it to the holidays are coming up. But I'm going back to I got beat down. We'll see where this leads us. Many of you know that I'm a train wreck. And aren't we all? I don't mind saying I'm a train wreck. I don't mind saying, when I say I'm a train wreck, I laugh about it. Do I mean that I'm a complete train wreck? When I say I'm a train wreck, I mean that I admit that me and everyone else has something that they deal with. Well, that's what I mean when I say I'm a train wreck, because every single one of us here have something that we struggle with, that there's something that's on this mind that you cannot, like, there's times when you cannot get it off your mind, no matter how many times you go travel to the creek or go lay on a pig, it won't leave you. It's like your brain gets obsessed. And this is for me. It's like my brain gets obsessed and I'm like, "Okay, Judy, you're going to have a good day today. You're not going to think about that because it's not about that." And then my brain just cannot do it. Just like it's like it cannot do it. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's like for me, I'm not getting ready. For me, it's like when there's something I can't control, I obsess about it. When I cannot figure out the answer to figure out how to dance, I become obsessed and I will be obsessed until I figure it out. And there's times when I can figure it out pretty quickly. And there's times when I figure it out and I think I figured it out and then I didn't figure it out. It's like I'm a train wreck. I'm like, I am a complete train wreck. So many of you know, but I'm going to repeat it. It's something that I'm not proud of. I've been married 4 times. 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4 times I've been married. And when I think about that, I'm like, "Oh my God, that's embarrassing." That is straight up embarrassing. But when I think about how I got to where I am today, I have to be honest about my past. Even though my past does not define me today, because I have become a totally different person. I have worked really hard to get to where I am today. But when I say, let me tell you what I'm talking about. When Shane and I first started dating, I found out Shane used to teach high school. Okay. When we first started dating, he taught high school. And I remember like listening to stories about what, like, he would come home and say a story, or if I went to the school or something and saw him teaching, I was like, "You're ugly to them." Like, Shane was the strict teacher. Okay. He didn't put up with crap. Okay. That's how he was. It wasn't like you could cheat in his class because he would like fail you. He was a very strict teacher, but he won Teacher of the Year, uh, and got on like the news. Like he won, like the students respected him and loved him, but he was so mean. I was like, yeah. So to this day, to this day, he has students that will call him, and maybe he taught them 20 years ago, and they will call him to this day. As a matter of fact, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. There is a student that calls him from jail. When he has time to talk on the phone, he calls Shane. That's the kind of teacher that Shane is. But he don't put up with he's I say he's mean, but to a woman, he's mean. He's very straightforward. You never have to know what that teacher's thinking. he will call you out in 0.2 seconds. But he wins Teacher of the Year, and people call him to this day all the time. And Shane is a type of teacher that when a student calls him, he will sit on the phone for an hour and talk to them. He will talk about business. He will kind of talk to them about their future. He will talk to them about he will flat out tell them what they're doing wrong. Your problem is you're spending too much money and you don't have the correct tools. If you want to get where you're going, you can't get there like that. It takes time. You can't become me overnight. I'm 53 years old. It took me 53 years to get here. You're in your 20s. Like, he will tell them like it is. Well, one day, I remember we were dating. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I remember being around him and a student, and I was like, because after he taught high school, he taught college. Now, he don't teach in a school setting now, but he still teaches. He teaches for the state of Alabama, but he teaches for like big businesses. Like Shane, like when the state of Alabama is trying to get a large company to settle to come to Alabama, they sit and make negotiations. Like, I'm going to throw a company out there. Let's say Toyota, okay, the car. If the state of Alabama is trying to get Toyota to make another plant here, they'll negotiate a contract and they'll say, if you bring Toyota plant to Huntsville, we'll certify all your welders. The state of Alabama will pay for all your welders to be certified. So then the state of Alabama or Toyota sends all their employees to Shane to get certified. So Shane doesn't teach in a school setting anymore, but he's still a teacher. So he's worked his way up. So that's what Shane does now. So I remember when we lived in Stapleton, he taught a college setting. And so I remember walking into the classroom and I was like listening to him talk to students. And I was like, that dude would scare me to death if he was my teacher. Because he's very straightforward. He don't put up with crap. And I asked him, I remember him coming home one day and I said, why are you so ugly when you're teaching? Like, you are downright rude, Shane. Like, I don't know how you've won Teacher of the Year. And I don't know how these students call you all the time, because I would be like, when I graduate, I'll never talk to this dude again. You know, like, he said, well, I beat them down to build them up. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, what? He was like, I tear them to pieces to build them up. I make them a man. That made no sense to me at the time. I did not understand what he was trying to really say. He beats them down to build them up. Okay, let me back up. When my son, I think he was a sophomore in high school. I think. Maybe he was a junior. I can't remember. My son was in high school and my son wanted to go into welding. My son knew from a young age that he wanted to be a welder, and he never looked back. He was like, I'm being a welder. You know how, like, when you're young, you're like, I want to do this, and then you change your mind, or I want to do this, and then you change your mind. My son was like, I want to be a welder, and he went for it. He never turned back. He knew from a young age. This is what he wanted to do, and he went for it. Well, I remember when we were talking about him going to college, we sat down with, I don't know what he was called. I'm just going to say the college administrator that was talking to us about my son going to welding college. And me and Corbin's dad were at the McDonald's. Okay, that's where the guy met us, at the McDonald's on 280. I know exactly where we were. And instead, I mean, he did talk to us about the college, but this is what he did to us. He had paychecks from students that had been to the college. And he began to show us how much money you could make welding. And I can't remember the dollar figure, but it was like crazy stuff. And he had like, I want to say he had W-2s, but he had marked out, like the person had let him have W-2s of what he made a year, and to show students. So he was showing my son, and I don't remember the dollar figure. Okay, I don't. But he would say stuff like, this kid is 25 years old and made $150,000 a year. This kid was 23 and made $80,000 a year. And he had checks and W-2s to show my son that he was going to make lots of money. Okay. So, I remember me and his dad were like, I don't know. I guess we fell in the trap of, wow, Corbin's going to make a lot of money, and never did he tell us, okay, you want to go into welding? This is what's going to happen. You're going to be on the road traveling, and you're going to be in a dirty hotel, and you're going to be working 14 hours a day on the top of a roof in the blazing heat in welding gear. He never said that. He said, here's your check. You're going to make $150,000 a year. But he never told us what's going to happen and what a welder has to do in order to make 150. He didn't say, hey, you're going to have to leave your family and travel months at a time without seeing your children. And you're going to be in this hotel with working 14 hours, 7 days a week, working 14 hours to make ends meet. That's how this dude got this $150,000 check. He was on the roof 7 days a week for 14 hours in the blazing heat. He never said that. He just said, you're in welding, you're going to make $150,000 a year. And as I watched my son, when he graduated welding school, he went on the road. And my son was, I'd say, 20 years old, and he was making some bank. He had more in his bank account than I did. I mean, he was making some money, but he was in a hotel away from home, working 14 hours a day, too tired to even eat. They didn't tell him that part. So when Shane said, I tear them down to build them up. And I got away, because y'all know I break things down. So when he said that and I got away on my own, I was thinking about my own kid. And I was like, oh, I see. Because somebody that's a welder can't be a mama's boy. If you're the type that can't be away from your mama, you're not going to make it being a welder. Like you're not. You're not going to make it on the pipeline because you ain't going to see your mama or you ain't going to see your kid or you ain't going to see your wife. So when I was thinking about Shane, I break them down to build them up. I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it because Shane is a reality teacher. He ain't showing you your paychecks. He's going to go get in there, fix that. Because at the end of the day, when you weld, okay, it is one thing to go into the welding, I don't know what you call it. I'm going to say booth welding because it's like in a classroom, you have booths and they have these red curtains and the student goes in there and welds himself. Okay. Very rarely do you stand there and weld. When you are repairing something, like let's just say, if Shane was listening to me, he'd be like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But when you weld something or you're repairing something, you're not standing there welding like this. You're having to sneak in to this hole. Okay? You're sneaking into the hole and you're on your back and you're like this and you have to repair something. So like Shane, when Shane teaches them, I think he does this, but he puts them in all different types of positions to teach them welding because you're not, okay, let's just say this is your welding rod, okay? I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but you're not going to go, oh, I need to weld this. Bzzz. Okay? It don't work like that because you never know. You might be, like I've seen my son, okay? My son's scared to death of heights. I seen him, I don't know what you call it, scissor lift or some crap, go all the way to the top of this building, okay? I mean, yes, he has on a harness, but he is in God's country welding over like it's not like he's right here going, bzz. He's 1,000 feet up in God's country welding like this over this thing, praying to God that he doesn't fall. So like it's not like you're just welding. You have to, oh my God, I am in God's country so far up in the air and have on this harness. What if I fall off this scissor lift? So you're not only just worried about welding correctly and making sure, I don't know if I'm saying it right, that there isn't a hole in it, that you welded it right, but you're also shaking because you're scared to death of falling. You're in God's country. There's a lot of stress that goes into welding. So when Shane teaches, if he doesn't kind of beat them down and take the mama boy out of them, they'll never make it in their career. Ever. If traveling and being away from home scares you, you're not going to make it in the welding world. If you have a wife that wants you home all the time, your marriage is going to be busted up because a welder works crazy hours. Because if you're the type of woman that wants your family to be here for Christmas, like you want your husband here for, I don't know, let's just say 4th of July, that you're going to have a big family party and you get pissed off because your husband's not there, your marriage is not going to make it because welders go to work when plants shut down. A plant has to shut all the way down, employees not be there, and Shane has a timeline. It's called shutdown. And Shane has to go, okay, we have 12 hours to repair this coil because workers are coming in Monday morning at 6 a.m. and the plant has to come up and operate Sunday. So we have 12 hours to get this job done. Do you understand me? And so Shane has to look at his employees and go, you get me. Don't jack around. We have 12 hours to do this job. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. And so Shane has to kind of beat them down because he don't want someone to go into this field and not understand what they're getting themselves into. Shane is not the type of teacher that's going to show paychecks. Shane is the type of teacher that says, you're going to work your A off. You're going to be in welding gear, long sleeves, thick shirts that's fire resistance with the helmet on the roof, on black turf, trying to weld in the blazing heat in the middle of the summer in Alabama. Do you understand what you're about to set yourself up for? So, with that being said, talking about me and Shane's relationship, Shane is very hard on me. It's almost like I'm his student and not his wife. He's very, very hard on me. Okay? And I'm a titty baby. Is that sounds like I'm being, what I mean by that is I'm a girly girl and I don't handle, I don't know, in the South we call somebody that's a titty baby means get off your mom, go get in the real world. Like I'm not used to being talked tough to. Okay? I'm not. My parents were not like that. Okay? I've used this liquid blush and it's like, I guess I'm getting to the end and it's not good. Anyway, he's very tough on me. And the other day, I can't remember what was said. Something happened. And he said something that just ticked me off. What did he say? I can't remember what was said. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, when Shane goes hunting and when he comes home, I don't know why I do this. It's so goofy, but I run around like the president of the United States is coming in my house and I am cleaning floors. I am changing sheets. I have washed all the clothes. There's no dishes in the sink. Everything is purpose. Supper is on the counter. It's like the president of the United States is coming in my house, going to do a dusting tour or something, like to see if I've done it right. I work really, really hard because when Shane comes home, I want everything to be clean. It's kind of like if you have someone come visit, like somebody's coming to visit you and you're like, oh, clean the bathrooms. Oh, we got to have a snack. We got like you run around your house, like cleaning because you want like your bed to be perfect. The pillow's perfect. You got a candle lit in the house because you don't want your house to stink. That's what I do when Shane goes somewhere and comes home. It's like, and I set myself up for failure because I want him to go, it's so nice to come home to a clean house. Every time I go hunting, She's got everything. She's got clean sheets on the bed. She's like got supper on the table. The floors are clean. Like, I want him to do that. And he never does it. So you would think that would stop me from doing it. Like, I should just leave the house a daggum wreck. Leave clothes in the floor. I don't know, bed unmade. Not like, I should just not worry about it. You would think that I would do that. But every single time I don't do that, I want everything to be beautiful. Like, I've done a good job. Like, thank you, Judy. Thank you for letting me go hunting and not griping at me. And thank you for letting me come home to this beautiful, clean house. That's my expectations. So he came home, and of course, I had done everything. And he came home, and this is what he does every single time. Because when he leaves, I go on a cleaning spree. I throw away. Okay. I am not a hoarder. I do not keep things. I go through my closet randomly and start throwing clothes to Hannah home. Okay. When I buy new stuff or whatever. So when he comes in from hunting, he goes, he kissed me. He sat on the couch less than 5 minutes. And he goes, why is that cheese wrapper in the floor? That's all you noticed? I mean, you walked into this house and all you noticed is I accidentally dropped the cheese wrapper in the floor that I had ate cheese just a few minutes ago. And it ticked me off. And he got up, and he wouldn't matter nothing, but he got up and goes straight to the shop. And I'm sitting there going, he's been gone for 5 days. He has literally been gone for 5 days. And I have juggled keeping this house clean, washing clothes, doing animals, not griping at him, and I have kept the fork down. And he hadn't missed me one freaking second. He has gone to the shop. He said the comment about the cheese, walked to the shop, and is now working on the trailer, and 0 time is spent with Judy. And I'm sitting there and I am livid. I'm like, he don't miss me. I'm like talking to myself going, he could care 2 craps about me. All he cares about is this stupid trailer that he's turning into a lemonade stand. Hasn't seen me in 5 days. Doesn't notice that I've done anything in the house. Notices a cheese wrapper in the floor and goes straight to the shop. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this sucks. This literally sucks. A big old fat meatball sandwich. So then I had the flashback. And because I said to myself, he just beats me down. He don't build my confidence. He just beats me down. And when I said that, I had this flashback of a student. He beats them down to build them up. So when I was breaking things down, calling him every name in the book, I was thinking in my head, he beats them down to build them up. So then I started going, he beats me down to build me up. And I started thinking about that. And I was like, I am pretty tough. That's all I can say. Like, I'm tough as nails. Like I'm pretty tough. And I was thinking about our marriage. And so I started saying to myself, he beats me down to build me up. And I was reflecting on it. And I was like, how tough am I? And then I started having flashbacks of my past marriages. And I was thinking about how I got to where I am today. And I was like, dang, I've been beat down by so many men. I have been literally beat down. And I was thinking about how tough I am. And I was thinking about the 4 marriages that I had been in. And I was thinking, okay, my first husband, I was married to for 11 months. Literally 11 months. And I think I was 22 years old when I got married. And I ended up getting a divorce because he ended up getting hooked on drugs. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And I left. Never looked back. Then I met my kid's father. We got married, and I was married for 5 years. And we were both young and dumb. We were both dumb and young. Let's just put it like that. And I remember he was such a disappointment to me because when I got married, I looked at his mom and dad, and his mom and dad had been married for a long time, and they were really involved in church. And I thought my marriage was going to be like theirs, I think. And it was so far from that. I was stupid. I had done stupid stuff. We got divorced. My third husband, I thought this is a forever marriage. I was married to him for 15 years. And let me back up. I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I did. I've told you before things I've done. I did a lot wrong in every marriage. Honestly, probably at the end of the day, the marriage were busted up because of me. Okay, but I'm going to tell you how I got beat down. All right. So the first husband, I got beat down because he ended up doing drugs, ended up stealing, just doing a lot of, and I was just like, no. And my second husband couldn't keep a job, couldn't, money was terrible. I don't even know how he made it through kids being babies. I felt like he ended up trying to get a second job and became a bouncer, and he was gone. I just it wasn't like I felt like I got beat down because I felt like I was the only one that was providing financially is how I felt. Now, whether that was true or not, probably not. But in the moment, that's how I felt. Now, I did a lot wrong in the marriage, but I left because I gave up on the marriage. I just gave up. With Robbie had OCD, my third marriage. I was married 15 years. The OCD was out of control. I was a robot. I remember on Fridays, I had to give him all my receipts that I had spent. And let's just say that I went over my grocery budget $20. Okay. And I had to feed, I remember at the time, my grocery budget was $100 a week. I had 3 kids and 2 of us. So 5 people I was feeding for $100 a week. Okay. And when the kids would like, we had the kids every other weekend. So our groceries would go up because the kids ate everything in the house, right? And so if I went over, and let's just say I spent $120 at the grocery store, and so Friday came and I gave him the receipt for $120, then he would take $20 off my gas allowance. So that meant I had to go put my kids on the school bus because I couldn't drive my kids to work because I didn't have gas money. It was horrible. Horrible. I was so beat down in that marriage. Like something simple as washing clothes. If I washed clothes, I didn't do it right. If I folded the clothes, I didn't fold them like him, so he would redo them. If I put dishes in the dishwasher, I didn't put them in the dishwasher right, so he would redo them. He would take all the dishes out of the dishwasher, wash them by hand, put them in the dishwasher. So I got to the point where I wouldn't even do dishes. When it came to cooking, I wasn't allowed to cook. He was the only one that could cook good. So I couldn't cook, I couldn't clean, I couldn't even put groceries up. If I put groceries in the pantry, he would go redo them because they had to be done a certain way. All the breakfast stuff in alphabetical order on the top. Uh, the second shelf was like canned goods, and they were all turned a certain way. They had to be in alphabetical order. It was like horrible. I was so beat down. His family treated me like, excuse my French, but shit. The last Christmas we were married, the last Christmas we were married, his family brought gifts for my husband and my husband's son, and me and my children didn't get one gift. I was beat down. I told you guys this, okay? I get teary-eyed on this part. Do you know, in my lifetime, and my kids are almost 30, my kids have gotten Santa Claus from me one time. One time. Every single Christmas, I wasn't allowed to buy. I could spend, let's just say, $50 for Christmas. Well, I didn't have anything to put under the tree for my kids. So my kids went to their dad's for Christmas because their dad and stepmother did Santa Claus for them. I could never do that. I was so beat down that I allowed that to happen. I still to this day can't believe that I put up with that. But when you're in a marriage where you're so beat down, like you don't know how to get out. And you're like, this is my third marriage. The problem is me. I keep getting a divorce. I'm the problem. You're so beat down that you're like, it's all me, because you're told it's you. You're the problem. You're the reason we don't have Christmas is because you spend money. Sure, you're the problem. It's you. Even though I was the breadwinner, it's all you. You're the problem. And you believe it. And then you find yourself doing stupid stuff because you're so miserable that you just want out and you're looking for a way out. Like, get me out of this hell. I never was necessarily physically abused, but I was so mentally abused. But I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't. I think he was OCD and was untreated. And there is medication for OCD, but he kept telling me I was the problem. But his OCD would not allow him to spend money. So my kids went to Christmas every year to their dads. I'll never get that back. Never. It was awful. And sometimes you're like, well, that was my fault because I allowed it to happen. When you're so beat down, you're caught up in it. And because you feel like, well, I can't afford to get out on my own because you're told you can't do it. And you believe you're told it so many times that you believe you can't do it on your own, even though I was the breadwinner. So I was thinking about my relationship with Shane. And although Shane doesn't treat me that way, there's things that Shane does that I don't agree with. But I guarantee you, your marriage is probably the same way. We all marriages go through the same type things. And I've said this a gazillion times, but we as women we grow up watching Cinderella and Snow White, and that's what we think marriage is going to be like. Like our Romeo is going to be in love with us, and he's going to bring us the glass slipper, and we're going to wear the pretty dress. And then all of a sudden you get in the marriage and you're like, oh my God, I'm working 7 days a week just to make ends meet. I never see him. He goes hunting. He comes home. He don't even appreciate me cleaning the house. And it's like, this is not what I grew up watching. Like, this is so far from the truth. But the reality is, a marriage is about give and take. And we think love is a feeling because we're brought up when you're a kid and you start dating someone, you got all the little jitter feelings and everything's you're so in love and everything's so wonderful. But you're not paying bills together and you don't have children together, and all the giddy feeling and all the love and excitement, when you get married, it all goes away. And you're like, this sucks. He literally went hunting for 5 days, walks in the door, sees the cheese wrapper on the floor, and goes into the garage. I'm so beat down. Like, I just need you to look at me. Look at me. So the other day, we got in a fight, okay? Like, where we went to bed mad at each other over him seeing the cheese wrapper and going like. So the next day, we went out to eat, and I gave him the story. I said, I was breaking things down and I was thinking about things, and I was thinking about you teaching. And he goes, oh, here we go, bringing up my past. He was on defense mode. He was ready to snap my head off. He had his comeback because I said, I remember when we first started dating. Oh, here we go. When we first started dating, how they are. Here we go. When we first started dating. Okay, bringing up crap. Judy gonna get in a fight before we go to the restaurant. I hadn't even said what I was gonna say. And you're over here with that smart mouth of yours. We're doing that, right? And I'm like, just hear what I gotta say. So I told him, I remember you telling me that you beat your students down to build them up. And I was thinking about our marriage. And And I was thinking, I feel beat down. When you walk in the door and you don't say, thank you for what you do to us. Because I will tell you, I am the type of wife that I look at him and I go, thank you so much for working as much as you do so that we can have what we have. I will slow him down, look him in the eye, hold his hand, and say that to him often. But I don't get it in return. I don't get, Judy, thank you for being the rock star wife, not getting pissed off about me going hunting, and you doing Larry, this farm, and this household while I go and have a good time. Thank you for what you do for our family. I don't get that, although I give it. And I told him, I said, I feel beat down. And he goes, Judy, oh, come here. And he's hugging me, going, I love you. I'm like, you don't give me enough. I don't feel appreciated sometimes. I said, I feel like you beat me down and I feel like I'm tough as nails. Like I am untouchable, Shane. I promise you, there is not another one like me. There is no woman that would put up with you. I promise you that. I had that talk with him. And I thought, as I was breaking things down, I was just going back and reflecting about not just how do I feel beat down? It wasn't necessarily that my past husbands beat me down on purpose, but I allowed that to happen. And I tell you all the time that the only person that you can control is yourself. So, how do you protect yourself from going to that bad place? Is even though your spouse may not tell you that you're a rock star husband or you're a rock star wife, you got to know it in your head. Are you doing everything that you can as a spouse to be what you're called to be? Because at the end of the day, it's not, I tell you this, but it's not like when everything's said and done and you get to heaven, God's going to go, hey, good job on putting up with that that you put up with. Like, you go on through the gates of heaven, you're going to get 3 medals for putting up with that bull crap that you put up with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we say things because we want the same thing in return. So when I hold Shane's hand and looked at him in the eye and I'm like, hey, thank you for working 7 days a week. Thank you for working these shutdowns so that we can buy this acreage. Thank you for, we have what we have because you work so hard. Thank you. Do I say that because I want that in return? I don't say that wanting it in return necessarily, but it would be nice to hear it every now and then. It would be nice to go, hey, today's about you. I'm not going to the shop. Today's about you. What you want to do today? What would that feel like? If your spouse came and she said, today's about you. You work so hard. What would you like to do? Instead of you coming to sit in my shop to spend time with me, let me go sit in your shop. What would it feel like? But oftentimes, you may not get that in return, and you feel beat down. And what do you do to take care of yourself? Because at the end of the day, we can't force. I mean, if I went up there, hey, listen here, dude, I need you to hold my hand right now, look in my eye, and tell me how much you appreciate me. You got 30 minutes, go. Would I would be busting out laughing. So, how do you take care of yourself? I don't know what that looks like. I will tell you this weekend, I came up with this idea. I want to collect lighted Christmas trees. I want to have a gazillion all over my house. It reminds me of my great grandmother. I used to do ceramics with my great grandmother, and I want ceramic Christmas trees all over my house, honestly. So, this is what I did. I went and looked up a ceramic place. I was like, do they even do ceramics anymore? And I found this place. It's literally 15 minutes from my house. And I said, Shane, do you think your mom and your aunt would like to go to ceramics? And he's like, oh, they would love that, Judy. So I was like, great. I could spend time with my mother in law and her sister, and we can all go to ceramics. And so I messaged his mother's sister first, and I said, hey, would you like to go to ceramics? Because it's only like 3 minutes from her house. And she said, that sounds fun. I was like, great. She wants to go. He was like, you're going to make my mom mad. You better call her right now. Because if her sister calls first, you're going to hurt her feelings. So I call his mom real quick, and she starts making excuses why she can't go. And I was like, well, your mom doesn't want to go, but Nancy's going. He goes like, well, go ahead and pay for it because she'll go if Nancy goes. And I'm like, okay. So I went and paid $300 for me, my mother-in-law, and her sister to all go to ceramics. And I was so excited. I was so excited. And his mother was supposed to call me back to tell me whether she was definitely going or not, but we knew she was going because her sister was going. Well, the next morning, I get a text message from the aunt, and she goes, I don't really like ceramics. Oh, and I had never heard from his mother whether she was going or not. And I paid $300 for all of us to go to ceramics. And I said, Shane, we paid $300 and none of them want to go with me. And I have my feelings hurt. And he was like, well, you're just going to have to ask someone else. So I called Susan, which is a backup dancer. And I said, Susan lost her husband this past year. And I said, Susan, would you like to go to ceramics with me and make ceramic Christmas trees? And she said, I would love to. And I was like, great. Well, we got 3 to paint because I've already paid for it. And she was like, we can do it. Susan and I had so much fun. Okay, I know that sounds kind of maybe cheesy. We had a absolute ball making ceramic Christmas trees. They were already there. I've never been like since I was a little girl, so I kind of forgot what it was like. We painted the Christmas trees green, and we put little snow on the Christmas trees. They're supposed to fire them, I think, this week, and we get them back in 2 weeks. Girl, I done ordered a bigger Christmas tree. I'm going back to ceramics. I had so much fun. I said, this is my thing. This is my thing. This is how I'm going to take care of myself. It gets me out of the house. It's only 15 minutes from my house. It's something that I'm enjoying, and I'll have Christmas trees all over my house. I'm enjoying this. So I ordered an 18-inch. Susan and I did a 13-inch, and I did an 11-inch. I did the 11-inch all white with snow. I can't wait to see them fired. So they're supposed to call me, and I'm going to have an 18-inch Christmas tree to do. And then there's this pencil thin Christmas tree that I'm doing. And it's supposed to be in the next 2 weeks. That's how I'm taking care of myself. Sounds cheesy, but that's how I'm taking care of myself. What are you going to do to take care of yourself? If you feel beat down, what are you going to do to lift your spirits? Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that you can be controlled. Like, you can control your own feelings. I can't control Shane to tell me I'm a rock star wife. Honestly, I already know it. I already know it. I mean, dear Jesus, I know it. I don't really need him to tell me. I already know I am. I already know that there's nobody in this world that could put up with him other than me. But at the end of the day, I'm running a little late in my live this morning. I need to roll my hair, but I'll roll it after we get off my live. What do you need to do? Do you need to find a ceramic store? The next thing I'm going to do is try to find stained glass. You've got to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you have a choice. Sitting it is going, oh, I'm beat down. My spouse is SOB. God bless. I hate being in this house with him ever since he retired. If I have to see that face one more time, I'm going to scream. That's sitting it out. Dancing is going, okay, what activities are around me? What can I get myself involved in? What can I do? You want to collect something? Go make it yourself. Go figure out how to make stained glass or how to make ornaments for your grandkids, or, ceramics does ornaments. How awesome is it that they can have a hand? They may not appreciate it, but you know what? At the end of the day, you're the rock star. Okay. That you can't control how they feel. But one day, that grandkid is going to be 54 years old, and she's going to say, I remember one time I went to ceramics with my great-grandmother, and I want to go back to that place. Because I remember how much fun it was to be with my great-grandma. She lived in a retirement home, and on Wednesdays, we did ceramics. So I used to go spend the night with her on Tuesday nights so that I could go to ceramics with her on Wednesdays. There's going to be a day where your grandkid turns 54, and they're going to remember that great-grandmother or grandmother made me the ceramic ornament that I have to this day. They may, in the beginning, they may sit it out because they don't understand that it was homemade by great-grandmother. But one day, she'll be sitting live in front of a bunch of people going, I remember that day. I remember that day. I remember my grandmother taking me to ceramics. And that's what I call dance. It's your choice. I will see y'all Wednesday. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that I said something that you can relate to, and I hope that you dance. I'll see y'all then. Bye.